power to help lower your cholesterol. Natural cholesterol-blocking plant sterols that help protect you from bad cholesterol. The perfect heart-healthy start to a delicious meal. Lizola. Make it with heart.
Autistic, and 2, I have the developmental capacity of a 5-year-old. I've never heard a 5-year-old make sentences and phrases with perfect grammar and punctuation like this before. Okay, I have a 6-year-old. He can maybe spell his name with a backwards S. I'm sorry. Talk about a shocker. I'm more autistic than everyone thought I was, and I have a mental capacity of less than Abby's physical age, thus I'm one smart 5-year-old, apparently. Hell, the 5-year-old bit has even snuck into my branding, such as this tagline, the new and improved Carly Grace Fleshman. Now more carefree in version 5.0, and remember, this 5-year-old loves you. It all doesn't make sense swirling around me. Person writes back, says, my special interest is Kurt Cobain. I'm obsessed with him and think about him every day. I think about his suicide and how maybe I could have stopped him if I was there. Every single day. I would totally stalk him if he were alive. I haven't talked to a therapist yet, as it's not that bad. But I see it as a problem. But if you think you have a problem, maybe therapy would help. There's so many people in here being like, okay, don't. But they're doing it nicely, which means that they likely struggle with the same thing. And he says, I haven't done anything too crazy. I just sent an email and sent my support team to do the same. Zero response from them, but I would love to have one of these days hold the hands of Abigail Lorraine Moss. He's not letting this go, everybody. He wants to be told what he's doing is okay. And it's not. Quick update. I've recently tried to quit all things Abby and failed miserably. I even had a companionship doll named, you guessed it, Abigail Lorraine. This guy bought a sex doll and named it Abigail Lorraine. And then he goes on, I'll never be able to give up, according to one of my friends. And I think it kind of stops there. I didn't get any more. When I read this, okay, my first thing was, oh my God. Likely what you guys are all kind of feeling right now, okay? You're all like, what the hell? This is one person, likely of many, who think like this. Let's not forget that Abigail is basically famous, okay? She's a famous YouTuber. They have fans galore, and she doesn't even know it. I know that she has parents around her brother and help at all times. Abby will never be left alone. I don't think it's ever going to be a case where she might get kidnapped or anything like that. I think that obviously she's going to have protection and care all around her. But what's it going to take, okay, going to a meet and greet at Dunkin' Donuts and this dude shows up, wants to hold her hand, and decides to just throw caution to the wind and do something crazy? All the protections in the world are out the window when you're traipsing her around to Dunkin' Donuts and meeting hundreds, if not thousands of people. They go to events and they mention where they're going. Oh, we're going to this conference. That guy could be waiting at the conference for just one moment. Waiting for his moment to do the thing he wants to do. I'm sorry. Okay? Unacceptable. So the first thing I did when I got that was I reached out to Asa. And I said, Asa, do you know this exists? Like, all joking aside, all snark aside, all videos aside, do you know this exists? You know what Asa said to me? Nothing. Absolutely zero, nothing. I wasn't reaching out to say, hey, why are you such a bad dad? I didn't say anything like that. I said, do you know this exists? All joking aside, please look into this. And he got a zippo nada, because why would he care? This, to me, is crazy. The one before that with the girl, what's her face? Okay? Those videos are creepy, and those comments are creepy in themselves. That's an adult woman who loves Abby. And they let her meet her. Likely multiple times. And it said, love meeting you too. Don't do that. If you guys aren't going to take Abby off this channel, okay? If you're just going to continue to exploit her and just be like, and just don't care what anybody has to say about this whole thing, about your exploitation of this girl, okay? Fine. We get it. It's your choice to make, okay? It's not illegal what you're doing. But for the love of God, track this type of shit and make sure you're reporting it to the police. And also, stop taking her to meet and greets. You know she doesn't even like it. You can tell by the picture she hates it. By the fact that you physically have to hold her within a group of people she's likely super uncomfortable around. Okay? Care what you guys have to say. They go, oh, you don't know me. Piss off with that stupid argument, okay? I can see. She hates being in crowds. Abby hates weird ceilings, okay? She hates a lot of things. She's old enough now that she likely can be like, look, these are the things I'm comfortable with. You do not have to force her into situations. It's not something anybody has to do to be more normal. That's what they try to do. They try to say, well, we're doing these things because we want her to be more normal. Abigail has IDD and severe autism. It's never going to happen. So likely what you're trying to do is never going to be achieved, and it's just making it worse. And then, because you're so busy with your MLM, you're so busy making vlogs, you're so busy traveling during COVID and doing all the shit you want to do, that she's likely suffering even more than you know because you don't give a shit. Because this is all that matters to you. Okay? Your money is all that matters to you. Buying boats, buying houses, getting pools, taking major trips all over the place. That's all that matters to you. If Asa and Priscilla come across as these amazing family who have awards and they give to homeless people and all that shit, and they're like, we do this because we're amazing parents, and then they literally live the lavish lifestyle off the back of their daughter who has autism and IDD, who cannot consent nor will ever be able to consent. She cannot talk. She has a cognitive ability of some people place her between the age of 18 months and 6 years old. You guys are watching this with me. You're following along with me. I'm learning as you guys are learning. And the people over at Tattle who are helping me out, I really appreciate, because you guys know so much more than me. But as I learn this stuff, it fires me up and it makes me so upset. Like, I can't believe this doesn't make other people more upset, that nobody's really catching on to this. Well, okay, that's like, a lot of people are catching on to this. But how do people get away with this for so long without somebody stepping in to fix this? When Abigail turns 18 years old, I'm pretty sure someone comes into her life and acts as an advocate for her as an adult, outside of her parents' control. I cannot wait for that day to happen. Not only that, so not only do you have the meet and greets and the crazy stands, and like here's a whole group of other stands. I forgot even to mention these ones. There's so much, everybody. You see this guy actually in a lot of places. Abby, you look so fabulous and adorable. Beautiful princess, beautiful baby. Baby, love you, beautiful baby, baby. Love you, baby, baby girl, I love you. Beautiful baby girl, smile, beautiful smile, adorable face. Smile, beautiful face, beautiful princess girl. I love you, beautiful princess, beautiful girl, princess look, beautiful princess, sweetheart, love, miss you. Beautiful baby girl, so much, keep it up, baby girl, love, see you again soon, love. I'm pretty sure this guy's met her. Likely has autism himself. But Asa leaves these comments up on their Instagram. Kendra Lee Biles writes, when I get enough money, Moss family, I most definitely will be getting to one of these. I love learning about autism and supporting our dear Abby, plus supporting anything that has to do with helping out. TD Vids writes, is Abby having a special Sweet 16 party? Edit, is Scylla with child? Is that a secret? What the hell? Cindy Vasquez writes this, I have to stop binging on you guys. I dreamt I was going out with the sun. I'm 44 years old, LOL. That he asked me to Valentine's date, LOL. We were a couple, ha 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 ha. Comment was left up. 44-year-old lady. Joey Watson writes this. Y'all, my poor husband, LOL. I'm over here crying. I mean, like full-on proud mom moment crying. Watching Abby ride her bike. He looks up and sees me, then nervously offers ice cream and every favorite junk food we have. This is her husband offering it to her. All the while, I'm trying to tell him I'm okay. Then I started crying because of how sweet he was about me, crying. He said it's my job to fix it. These are their fans. People, there's some crazy people. Debbie Wakeland writes, before you know it, she'll be riding that bike everywhere. No, she won't. It made me cry also. We live in Kentucky most of the time, but have a home in Daytona Beach. We came to Jacksonville today. I'm always on the lookout for you all. C. Dav Mitchell writes, Abby looks so cute, covered in blood in the thumbnail. LOL. What else I can say here, everybody? I mean, there's so many receipts that show that there are creepy people watching her. And the fact that they take her around and show her off like she's some kind of pet is just absolutely atrocious. So, I don't know, you're watching, Asa. Look at me in the effing eyes. Stop taking her around to meet and greets. Protect your child. You say you're a good dad? Prove that you're a good dad. Stop with this bullshit. There's no excuse now if something ever happens. You got the video right here telling you that these people are not all right. Okay? There are some problems. And when you have a big platform, those problem people expand even more because you're including more and more people. Okay? You're in a world that are full of crazy people. And as your audience expands, the crazy people expand. There are people willing to do crazy things to get close to your daughter because you made her famous without her consent. She doesn't even know it. Okay? You did this. And then now you guys are reaching out on Facebook to find respite for Abby? Like, why don't you go with the professional service? Criminal background checks, people who are properly trained. Why are you looking for your fan base for someone to come take care of Abigail? What if someone like this, you don't know it? Because that person is likely doesn't tell you who they really are. What if that person is smart enough to trick you to being Abigail's respite? Right? They get in, could be years. You don't know this. People can play the long game when they're obsessed and crazy and creepy. So please, 2 things. Stop traipsing her around the country to meet and greet people at Dunkin' Donuts and all these events. Stop taking her to events. She doesn't like going anyway. And 2, seek professional respite care. Pay the money, you can afford it. That's literally what you tell us you do with the money. It's all for Abigail to give her a better life. So why not give her the best support you can give her? Pay the money, get the support. Stop reaching out on Facebook with your MLM network connections looking for respite. Because likely you're looking for a volunteer who wants to hang out with her and get free care. Or very, very low paid help and support volunteer care. Because that's dangerous as shit. And you should be ashamed of yourself for even doing that. What you've done here, Asa and Priscilla, is opened up a whole world of danger for your daughter, and it doesn't seem like you give a shit at all. So do yourself a favor, do Abigail a favor, and fix this problem by removing her from the public eye. That's the only thing you can do now. Get her out of the public eye. And you know why you won't do it? Because she's your golden goose, and you all know it. All your stans and your leg humpers who come here and be like, why would you hate on her? People think that they know her. They don't know shit about her. Okay? This is creepy, dude. And you're supposed to be a protective father. Priscilla, you're supposed to be her mother. And you guys are absolutely doing the opposite to line your own pockets. I rest my case. So next week I'm going to try to get into Summer and Isaiah and the tight circle that is around Abigail, excluding, well, you know, Asa and Priscilla might make an appearance. We're going to talk about the Summer situation. We're going to talk about the Isaiah situation and all the people at Crazy Nanny. We're going to talk about all the people that have exploited Abby for their own gains. We're going to talk about, is it legal for respite workers to do what they're doing on Instagram, growing platforms, taking pictures of her and all that kind of stuff. We're going to explore those options and figure out why they're allowed to do it, because they likely have permission from Asa. We're going to talk about the problematic issues, all the things and the rumors and all the stuff. We're going to present the evidence, present all the data, let you guys make a choice on what's going on over here, because this shit's creepy. So stay tuned next week where we talk about that really important topic, because this just keeps going. There's so much to talk about. And that's one really big one, because those people closest to Abby are the ones that she trusts the most. But if they're taking advantage of her, it doesn't sit right with me. So everybody, head over to Instagram. Please like me on there, because that helps my voice grow and get louder. Very important specifically for this topic, of course, right? So please do that. Sorry, this video really hits me. It took me a long time to get this one done, because the more I think about it, the more I dug into these screenshots. And this is like a small snippet, everybody. This is not even close to the amount of crap. I could have talked for 2 hours about this one topic and given you guys screenshots till the day is long about what's going on with these people, okay? They don't even monitor their own social media channels, except for when somebody hates, then they delete it like that. But if someone leaves creepy comments, they leave that shit up. That is very telling, okay? So make sure you stick around and, be careful when you watch these videos. Have the mental capacity to do that. Take a deep breath with me, everybody. Let's take a couple. It's a good one. Take another one. That feels good after this. Okay, and say this with me. I'm valuable because I'm here against the exploitation of somebody who will not be protected by the people who are sworn to protect her. Okay, I'm valuable because I'm going to spread this word. I'm valuable because I watch and I leave comments and I talk and I learn about these things. I'm valuable because we are here to fight together and you're with me. And you are super valuable. And you are bomb. And dang, I really like yours, Tom. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much for following this channel. I don't know how else to express my gratitude more than how blessed and how honored I am to be able to have this platform. And not one day goes by where it's not lost on me how privileged I am to get to do what I do right here. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you tomorrow.
Beard trim, yo. What up in the house? There's one person here. Thank you for joining me. 3. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Oh. Sorry, dudes, I was on the phone. I don't wanna- talking to my other wife. My wife. Okay, guys, head over to TikTok. I'm gonna start doing more on TikTok, like quick stuff. Jenna Lee, did you see what your sister posted on Instagram? I'm on the phone because I have another phone. See, another phone. Just kidding. I was just kidding.
$100 bonus. Open a BMO Harris Smart Advantage account. Maintenance fee, ATM fee. Can I hide you for work?
Sure. What's a 4-piece 10 cookies?
I do too.
With a BMO Harris Smart Advantage account, you can get cash from over 40,000 fee-free ATMs nationwide.
Making real financial progress. That's the BMO effect.
Every color, size, style, and all your favorite features. Hyundai Certified Pre-Owned helps you find your perfect match with the peace of mind of
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name is Josh. Thank you for joining me today. A lot of people have been waiting for this video. I kind of talked about this a little while ago. We're going to do a full video on the exploitation of Abby Moss, and I decided because there is so much to cover. And what was supposed to be anonymous, you're helping me dig up the things I need to dig up. But basically today we're going to dive into episode 1 of the series. The whole series is called The Exploitation of Abby. We're going to treat it like a heist, okay? We're going to talk about who the crew is, what's going on, and we're going to dive into where the problems all started. And then we're going to see how this pans out. I'm not promising that I'm going to do 100 episodes, but I'm going to promise you're going to cover it with to the best of my ability. A lot of people have been asking me to snark on the Dad Challenge channel about this family. You're not going to see me snark on this family, okay? Because this is too important to dilute, okay? It's too important to mess up by saying stupid things about people like I do on the other channel. Like, This one carries a lot of weight for me because this is one of the most exploitative, insane stories I've ever heard and discovered on YouTube, and I just can't. So I got to keep this serious. I got to keep it straight. I'll have some fun, obviously, but I won't be snarky. That's why we're over here on the Dad Challenge podcast, because it's one of the most important stories that's gonna major change. Because if you don't know the story about Asa Moss and fathering autism and Abby and Priscilla and the whole team, it's a deep, dark place on YouTube that seems to be bright and light, and everybody's like, yeah, but it's nice, just helping people with autism. And I think the truth is going to come out near the end of all this. Well, during this whole thing, it really is. In the end, my only point that I ever have to make ever about any of these family vlogs, no matter if I snark on them or not, or whatever it is, people are like, why is that mean? When you exploit children on YouTube without their consent, okay, it's wrong. That's why I do this. So before we get to that, I always have to throw a ball just because it's what I do for my Patreons. Coming soon, also the people who've joined my YouTube subscription side. We're trying to gather all the names. It's not as easy as you think, but stay tuned. Those are coming, and then just keep honoring those people who, at all levels, are supporting me, and I really appreciate that. This stuff takes a lot of time. This one has specifically taken weeks, to be honest with you, and it's not even close to being finished. So I just wanted to say thanks to those who support me monetarily, and thanks to those who watch this anyway. I don't want to just always honor those who just support me monetarily, but when people give me money monthly, I feel like I gotta give a little extra, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean I'm not appreciative of everybody who watches this and supports this. But if you can't get into the Patreon or join the thing, let me know. I'll throw your name up there, okay? But just be real. Let's do this. You ready? Spin time. Lacey Klein.
Let's do it.
Sam, watch Sam. Ready? Sam looks like you suck. All right, let's roll. So welcome to episode 1 of the exploitation of Abby Moss. And where do we start? Let's start with so Abby Moss is a non-verbal teenager. She's 15 and she has autism. Abby Moss is the daughter of Priscilla and Asa Moss. Okay, and these two people run a channel called Fathering Autism. Now, Fathering Autism came up on my radar because so many people were asking me to cover them, and a lot of people were saying, don't cover him, it's scary, he's got crazy fans, they're called leg humpers, that come into your chat, they try to shut you down, they'll bully you, whatever it is. But you guys know me, I'm not going to be bullied. I'm at a place, I think I'm in the space of YouTube where you can bully me, you can try to bully me, but I just don't, I think what happens with me is I just don't give a shit what you have to say. A lot of times I appreciate people coming in and leaving comments that would be considered hate comments, because I really want to know what you have to say. I don't think, often I'll call you a dummy or whatever, but I really do enjoy reading comments from people who are uneducated about this, because what it allows me to do is respond in kind and say, you're dumb, and here's why you're dumb. Not just because you're dumb, but here's why you're dumb. And I want to let people understand, and to be honest with you, there's been, 50 or 60 comments where people are like, I used to watch Fathering Autism, I no longer watch Fathering Autism, because you've opened my eyes to this thing. And I love that people are willing to at least listen. Those who come in my argument, those who come into my comment section and make the same lame argument that I'm jealous of them or whatever the case may be, let me just be clear, okay? YouTube isn't where I make my money, okay? I am independently employed, and I work for myself, but I make money too, okay, for the things I need to pay for. I love my life. I'm not poor, okay? We are fine. We do well. I'm not jealous of anybody's lifestyle. If anything, I'm kind of like sad, because I would never want my family to go through what these family vloggers put their families through. I want them to, again, I keep talking about how privacy is going to be this thing in the future where you have to pay a lot of money to have your shit released on the internet because your parents put everything out there. It's going to be a huge billion-dollar industry, okay? The data that they're collecting from our children, from the moment our children are on iPads or even before they're born, is insane. The brands, everybody who has Instagram accounts for their babies, that's just insane to me. And so I'm not jealous. Okay, maybe I'm jealous of his hats. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to go hats. I'm not jealous of these people. If anything, I absolutely love my life. I love my family, and we have a really good relationship. And what you see is what you get. It's kind of who I am. But some of the comments do come in and say, "Well, have you given thought to this? Have you thought about this and this?" And I try to look at it from her perspective, and I have a lot of people arguing for me and leaving comments for me and sticking up for me, and I appreciate that. But in the end, I really like to make this stuff available for people who basically drink the Kool-Aid, because when you start seeing how the sausage is actually made, shit starts to be different for some people, okay? And likely they don't want to see it. But those who wake up to this thing, that's an important thing. Not because I want to deplatform them or anything like that, but my main goal here on YouTube, as most of you know, is to help figure out how we can bring more protections in for kids who can't consent, like expanding the Coogan law to those on YouTube, and I think that's coming down the pike pretty soon. It's about honestly, no joke. It's about throwing shade and snark at those people who refuse to see what they're doing is wrong. One of the biggest things that popped up recently was the PPP loans and how pissed people are that these wealthy people on YouTube have taken loans that they didn't need, right? And that's exploded right now. But the main conversation will always go back to this, right? This hasn't become really a big deal until recently, and it's become a huge topic conversation. So when we talk about Abby Moss, we have to talk about the idea that she is exploited, and likely will be exploited for a long period of time unless this can stop. So Abby Moss is 15 years old. She has IDD and autism, and IDD is it could be argued that a lot of people believe that it could be argued that her IDD is her main diagnosis, right? But autism is the key phrase that a lot of people are using right now. It's a hot ticket video item. It's the word that people are just. It's like, I don't know how to say it. It's like the hot topic, and so they use that. But if your main diagnosis is IDD, autism is secondhand, and it could be the same thing. But they rarely talk about the IDD, right? And I think that's a really important thing, which we'll get into in a future episode, because I'm not educated enough on IDD. Neither am I that educated on autism, but I'm reaching out to people who are either autistic or in that industry to come on and give me the real goods. Not someone who's a father of a kid with autism. Not saying that Asa doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, he's literally had a daughter with autism for 15 years. He knows some shit. Like, I do believe that. But at the same time, he's not an educated professional. There is a difference for those who are educated in universities, have PhDs and degrees and this type of thing, and parents who have it, and parents who experience it. There's a big difference. And so that's, I think, one of the most important parts of this series is going to be interviewing those who not even necessarily are against fathering autism, but will give me the goods on what this actually is, and maybe say what he's doing good and what he's doing wrong. That's really important here, because I'm not here to just throw shade all the time and say he's completely wrong, because, as I've said before, I don't think that's the case, okay? So, back to Abby Moss. Sorry, this is how my brain works, I'm really sorry. So, Abby Moss, again, 15 years old, being exploited since she's a little girl. There's videos of her mom pulling her mom's hair and all this kind of stuff, and they filmed everything, right? The first video I did on them was, the thing that really pissed me off was this video where Asa is showing you how she uses the bathroom. Okay, look. It's the forceful look at the camera. It's the movements. Okay, now she didn't take her clothes off or anything like that, but it was, to me, set this whole thing in motion. It's not only about the exploitation of Abby, because her future is different than a lot of these kids that are on YouTube, like Jess Fam, LaBrance, all these major big-time YouTubers. Those kids are going to grow up, and they're not going to have any privacy, but they have to live normal lives, right? They go to college, high school, they do all these things. They're going to have futures where they get to go to the workforce or not, whatever the case may be. With Abby, it's a little different. I've said this before, because she obviously will not be doing the same things as a kid that doesn't have ID autism, right? She likely will be in care for the rest of her life, whether through her parents or brother or through a system or whatever the case may be. And so her future of privacy isn't the same, and that's what I've been arguing for. But the line I want to draw between the exploitation and the lack of dignity that every human deserves to have. Okay, dignity and privacy kind of go hand in hand in this case, where the dignity that Abby is not going to be able to have is because they put her whole life on the internet, stimming to diarrhea on a public boat and flashing at restaurants and hitting people on airplanes and all these types of things. They're sharing this with the world, okay? And what they're doing is under the guise of, well, this is what it's like, and so we're going to tell you all about it. And this is how we educate them. And I want to just push back right away about the idea that we bring awareness. Now, to bring awareness to something is not necessarily a bad thing, right?
change the way you pizza. Step 1, grab a delicious Papa Murphy's pizza. Step 2, bake. Step 3, chow down on the deliciousness.
Now, to bring awareness to something is not necessarily a bad thing, right? To say, like, well, we want to normalize this and say this is normal and blah, blah. In the end, IDD and autism, specifically nonverbal autism like Abby has, that just means that Abby and these kids that are like this are like this. But when they go into public, people, I understand what he's trying to say here. Is like when someone goes into public and you've seen a video about Abby and you see someone similar to Abby, maybe you'll start thinking about, oh, that girl's just like Abby, and you'll start understanding a little bit more. That's where I think that's a positive. That is a net positive for what Asa is doing on Fathering Autism. I think that's a really important thing to state right off the top. That yes, this could be. I do believe that there is some positive awareness that he is raising towards us, but at the cost of Abby's privacy and dignity. Is it worth it for that? And I also made the argument that why is Abby the one that needs to be the person that is the, for lack of a better term, the example the world needs, right? And not having her permission to do so, I can't square it. You don't have her permission, they don't have her permission, and now she's a teenager and she's been on this channel for a long time, and they just don't have her permission. So yeah, there's some good that does come from it, but at the sacrifice of her dignity, I don't think is fair. So that's kind of where we landed last time in all the videos. But today we're going to bring into the story. You know, we're going to talk about this from like a position of like, you know, when you watch a heist movie or whatever, we're going to bring in the actors. We're going to talk to you about who is the team that is taking advantage of Abby Moss. Okay, and there's a bunch. I'm not going to name everybody, but I'm going to name the main actors and the main players. It's a really, really important thing to talk about because in the end, I want to hopefully draw the conclusion, or I want to convince. See pictures of her with on her Instagram. Instagram is, you know what strikes me the most about this girl's Instagram? It's funny because I just took these photos off her Instagram, then I went back to look at the photos and she's blocked me. So now I gotta go to my sock account and like get her photos. But basically, Becca Clark's Instagram surprisingly doesn't have that many photos, and she has a lot of, I think, over 13,000 followers on Instagram, which is crazy. It took me almost 7 months to get 10,000 subscribers, pushing daily to get that many. And so likely, okay, just in the pushover, 13,000 subscribers on Instagram is a lot, okay? And I just want to draw the parallel that she has photos of Abby on her Instagram and has very little on her Instagram. So I just wanted to say that. I think it's a really important thing, distinction to draw, okay? So Becca Clark is respite, and then we got to get into Summer Magliacetti, okay? Now, there's a lot that has to go to Summer, and Summer is going to get her own episode. I think it's going to be a dual episode between Summer and Isaiah. Now, Summer is respite. She met Abby at, I think, a surfing camp for kids with autism, and she is a big part of their life. Priscilla often calls her their favorite daughter. which is crazy to me. She calls Abby her best friend. There's a lot of touching. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of holding her in frame. She's kind of just like, she acts like one of the kids. And basically, I think Asa and Priscilla treat her as one. And obviously, I think she's paid. I think she lives on site. I think she is on her way out to go take a job somewhere else, and that's why they're looking for more respite. But Summer is a big player in this, and there's going to be a whole episode on just her and Isaiah. I think really important topic to discuss. But yeah, if you look at Summer Magliacetti, let me look at her on Instagram real quick. I'm blocked from Summer Magliacetti. It's awesome. Like, I laugh because it's like they're all so scared of the truth. So Summer Magliacetti has 86,000 followers on Instagram. That is a lot of followers for somebody who's like, for what? She has her own YouTube channel, which we'll dive into again on her. I'm not going to get into too much detail. I just want to tell you a little bit about them. But Summer Magliacetti has obviously featured, you know, Abby a lot and other kids that she seems to take care of. She seems to be, this is like her career. I think she's into ABA therapy, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Which is like, we're not going to get really into all that stuff because I don't think it really matters that much. We are going to touch on it though. But she's been, you know, Abby is clearly featured on her Instagram quite a lot. And all we have to do is like, let's take a peek, right? You just look at a main post without her. Like, here's one where she's dabbing. It's got 55 comments, 6,100 likes, right? Then you go up to one with her and Abby, okay? 123 comments, 12,000 likes, okay? You go to another one with Abby, 82 comments, 8,900 likes. You know, you got this photo here bugs me a lot, where she's holding her face really tight. When I saw that, I instantly, I'm gonna do a video with this. And then, you know, you got 151 comments, 9,500 likes. And you got here where she's playing volleyball, 20 comments, 5,300. It's clear to me, and this is the case I'm gonna make. Obviously, the whole thing is that these people use Abby for their own platforms, for good or bad, right? She's got her. Always trying to spread awareness and acceptance. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you head over to YouTube channel, like, we're going to look at 61,000 subscribers, okay? And how many videos does she have? Not very many, okay? I have 55,000 subscribers, and I have hundreds of videos. So you got like 27 videos, and has 61,000 subscribers. To me, that's overflow from fathering autism. And I think that's kind of like, if you look at the, you know, the fathering autism, for lack of a better term, mafia, fathering, you know, Asa is the godfather, you know, and he's blessing to do these things, helps them. Okay, so we gotta dive into Isaiah Moss. Okay, so Isaiah Moss, very similar, 61,000 on his, and Isaiah Moss is Abby Moss's older brother. Now, to be honest, I don't know a ton about her older brother. He rarely pops up on my radar for anything bad. I mean, it seems to me like, yes, he takes advantage of his sister too, and his platform is a big part of this. And, you know, he's got 4 comments on a Black Lives Matter post, 1,500 likes. But if you go to a photo with him and his sister, you just need to look at the content of their social media without even a cursory glance. Just look at another picture of him and some random girl. 2 comments, 670 likes, okay? And you look at him with a picture of his sister, the next one with a picture of him and his sister, right here, 56 comments, 7,400 likes. He's also got a YouTube channel called Isaiah Moss, Fathering Autism here. And again, 64,000 subscribers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18, about the same, 27 videos, 61,000. It's really very similar to Summer. And I don't think him and Summer have anything going on. They're pretty close. But Isaiah Moss is heading to apparently Appalachian State University, and to me it feels like the little I do know about him, I feel like he's on a route of his own. He's on a path of his own. I don't think that he wants to be in this as much as Asa and Priscilla like him to be in this. I do believe that he is used as respite, and you know, family does that. I'm not going to sort of shade at Asa and Priscilla for using one of their kids to be part of the family to do the thing they need to do. That's not what I'm throwing shade at. But again, my argument to be made here is that they're clearly using Abby for their own personal gains, and that's all you need to know. Now we're going to dive into Priscilla Plagenberg Moss. Priscilla is the matriarch of the Fathering Autism Collective. As far as I'm aware, and as far as from all the videos I've watched, hers and Abby's relationship is very strained. Something tells me that Priscilla Moss doesn't like the card she was dealt in life, but has made the most of it by exploiting their daughter and then creating a massive platform based off an MLM called Limelight, or Limelight. It used to be called Limelight, now it's called Limelight, whatever the case may be, and has busy herself into oblivion and kind of outside of being a mother. And I know that's a bold statement, but just watch it yourself if you don't think so. And do I blame her? Yeah, I do. I do believe that MLMs are super predatory. They are very, very crazy. MLMs are the bane of the world. They should not. They should be illegal, completely illegal, and they're not. And she didn't have to work to get to the status she's at, and she makes quite a lot of money, quite a lot, and has used Abby Moss to get there. All we have to do is go take a look at her as her Facebook page, right? So you just got to go to Scylla's Stuffing Things. Like, I know I didn't want to shade too much, but I absolutely hate the name Scylla's Stuffing Things. Pisses me off. So we did this in a previous video. We just went through her her videos where it's just her. Like, this is a brand new one, happened 9 hours ago. And she's got 24 comments, 204 likes. But we have to go a little bit deeper. We'll find a different one that's done like a while ago. Let's go a while ago. So here's a post that she posted on February 2, and it's got 130 comments and 2.8 likes, or whatever, right? It's a stupid Limelight mirror that looks dumb. Boss with a Boss Babe tag. Just stop. And if you go up to the next nearest one with Abby in it, you know, you got 554 comments, 12,000 likes. Just, I mean, it's not even close. So I feel like the exploitation goes a little bit too far when you use Abby in the sales of these things. Now, scrolling through her page again, I feel like she's removed a lot of the Abby stuff, which to me is like good, because clearly they are seeing that people are upset, right? They're upset that she's using her daughter. And before, there used to be every other post was her and Abby, right? It needs to be said that on Facebook you can make money. If you have over 10,000 subscribers, or I don't know what it is, you can make some money. But when she's featuring makeup, right? Look at this. She's featuring this big pack of makeup, 2 comments, 103 likes. This pack of makeup, 7 comments, 219 likes, right? When she does videos where she asks questions, people are coming there from the Fathering Autism blog. It's like a vlog for them. Anytime she's posting anything about makeup, no engagement. Yeah, for a page with 72,000 subscribers, she gets almost no engagement on any of the actual business side of her thing. Her videos get a little bit more pumped up, but her engagement for her selling stuff is almost nothing for that many viewers, which leads me to believe that the viewers are just there because of Abby, or because they're doing vlogs and they think they're going to see Abby on there. And but she took them off. Is a good thing I have all these screenshots here, but you can see Priscilla in my books is just as bad as Asa, who's up next. Now, Asa is obviously the patriarch of the Fathering Autism empire, and has placed himself as a heroic figure in the world of autism by actually calling himself the father of autism, right? Fathering Autism. Basically calling this, the moniker is insulting to a lot of people, because he doesn't father all of autism. He fathers a daughter with autism and IDD. And that's where a lot of people started perking up, saying, nah, I don't think he could say that. And then obviously Isaiah with brothering autism, and then just using it as a moniker to sell, right? How Ace and I met is I started doing videos a while back, and people started asking in the comments, are you going to cover fathering autism? And I said, yes, I will. And then Priscilla, I think, drunkenly came into my chat saying all the stuff, and people screenshotted it all. It's a big deal when she goes into chats, apparently, on all these gossip vlogs. Or all these gossip blogs, because when she comes out, people are watching. They have thousands of people watching their every single move, which is crazy. But it needs to be said that Asa and Priscilla both have a legal past. 4 records of her cashing bad checks, which was a felony because they were under $2,000. And Asa with a break and entering thing, and obviously the whole issue with his illegitimate child, who he does not see, who Isaiah and Abby don't get to see, who is older than Isaiah, where he stepped outside of his marriage and said we're separated, and then went and got another girl pregnant, and then tried to avoid paying child support, and then put all his business in Priscilla's name, and then it gets a little bit crazy. I've got a whole video on that where they try to apologize or not, and they didn't apologize. They just said it's none of your damn business, leave us be. But we'll get into that in a minute, because it's going to be really important to talk about him and this idea that he's this amazing dad who's like, look how amazing I am. Because as soon as that hit, that was a huge problem for them. Because people started saying, oh, wait a minute, you are not this dad, this amazing person, because you actually have a child of your loins out in the world who you did not support, and who you do not want to see, and who doesn't want to see you. And so it's pretty crazy. That was a big deal. So again, I'm a person that will always say this: your past does not have to define your future. But when your past affects your future, and specifically your future that makes your kid and your family money to pay bills, it's dangerous territory to be in. YouTube is a very dangerous place to put all your eggs in. and they have YouTube, and I'm going to talk about that next, is their major, massive platforms, okay, that they've built off of Abby Moss. Really important. So you can go back and look at the video I've done about Priscilla and Asa, because I did a whole video on them, but I want to bring up this one here, fathers of children with autism. Okay, it's his story. It's 4 minutes long. It's not crazy, but it was really important to cover this because this guy who claims to be the dad of the year, they've won awards and all these kind of things, and comes across as super like, oh, look at me, and he's very calming on the camera, and he's very confident about his abilities and how he comes across. But there's actually them admitting on camera, Priscilla admitting too, that he's a different person when the camera's off. And I definitely see it, because how we met was through the back of Instagram, where he's like, let's chat, and I said, let's chat. And then he got pissed off about something and called and told me I could never even sit at the same table with him, that I'm just a big giant loser. I think he called me a tool bag and all these things, and I was like, well, okay, dude, you're not really willing to have a conversation. They're willing to, engage their narrative when you step outside of their narrative and mess with their money and say things like this. You guys only see what we want you to see. I am making the argument that this is all fake, right? That there is some good that comes from it. But when the money started rolling in for this family, they literally put all their eggs in YouTube and social media's basket off the exploitation of their daughter, and gave other people permission to exploit her too. And that's why I'm pissed. So let's get into this video real quick.
First, let me give a disclaimer. This video was not made to excuse absent parenting.
No.
Nor was it made to chastise anyone. I made this video to give my opinion on a troubling topic.
Well, is there anything better than a sugar-free vanilla iced coffee from McDonald's? There is, but that's all I have right now.
It's no secret that moms take on an overwhelming amount of the load in the special needs community.
But not in this family. Priscilla Moss is I've made the argument before, not interested. That Asa does a lot of the bathing and all the kind of things that go on in this household. They've recently switched to showing Priscilla doing more because I called them out on it, but we all know who takes the reins here. And a lot of that, I think, conjecture, allegedly, is that because of him stepping out in the past and doing all the thing, all the business being Priscilla's name and everything, she has way more leverage. He just goes along with it.
In fact, my viewer base on this channel, Fathering Autism, is 75% female. Men and women, people, are wired differently. It's nature, it's part nurture. It doesn't really matter why, we just are. Every marriage is different because of that wiring. I can't tell you why there are so many disconnected and absent fathers. All I can do is give you my story. There was me.
A little generous.
And my wife. And then a baby.
Oh, with one hair.
And then dreams. Women dream too.
They do.
But women also plan. As the months went by, I dreamt more and more. I
What? Tea parties and dolls? What?
created more and more of an ideal upbringing for my child, her future, what the future would hold. My wife did the same thing, but she also planned. She planned for the future. Then one day, we get a diagnosis. We get a label.
So this is where a lot of people will say yes, but where's the IDD? Because IDD is a really important part of who Abby is too. So just want to say that.
And dreams become questions. Her dreams do too, but her plans are still there. When those dreams went away, it became a void. I couldn't find anything constructive to fill that void with, so I filled it with anger. I became an angry person. That anger cost me friendships, challenged my marriage, and damaged my relationship with my son. I'm a motorcycle mechanic by trade. I fix things. It's what I do.
Not anymore. You are a family vlogger who exploits your child on YouTube.
It's who I am. When my daughter was diagnosed with autism, I couldn't fix this. I have a daughter who has autism that makes up a large part of who she is, and she lives in a world that doesn't understand her. I can't change her autism, but I can change the world around her. and that's my dream. I won't deny that there are just bad parents.
This is where a lot of people drew the line of, like, he did this clearly way before everybody found out about his illegitimate daughter, who he had and didn't support and still doesn't see, who doesn't want to see him. This was like, people are like, I don't think you're allowed to do this video, dude.
And I don't think it would matter if it was a parent of a special needs child or a typical child. They'd still be bad parents. That just exists. And unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about it. And if you're
There's lots you can do about a bad, shitty parent.
in one of those relationships, I'm deeply, deeply sorry. To the wives, try to understand that your husband comes from a place where he can fix things.
Super offensive, right? A lot of people have different roles to play. He's literally labeling every wife as the planner who does all the things, and the husbands are just like, they fix shit. You can't say that. You can't say that, right? Am I right?
With his hands, or control the situation with his words. Understand where he comes from, and that he looks at this situation and he can't do anything about it,
Unless he's saying him. I think maybe he's saying him.
and it's killing him. Talk to him. Tell him what you need from him. But don't tell him in the heat of the moment. To the husbands,
What is he projecting here? Something's up. What is he saying? This is a weird video.
the dads, man up.
Yeah, this is where people got pissed. Man up, eh? Here's the issue, Asa, is that you say this and this is where I'm going to draw the line where he comes across as, look at me, superhero dad. Not all heroes wear capes. Look how amazing we are on our YouTube channel. Just admitted he lives in anger. And then he just admitted dad step up when he is a father who literally did not step up at all. Like, there's literally a child in the world right now that has lived without a father or support for most of her life until they came at him legally. He's hiding from him. We'll get into that in a future video, but like, that's where people got super pissed, where he said that. All the while, his past from this moment here was hiding such a deep, dark secret, and still had the balls to do a video like this.
This is a team sport. Your wife needs you. You need to be there for your kids. You need to do what needs to be done for your kids to progress. It may not have been.
Like what? Support them? Pay their child support that you owed them? That could have probably helped this poor family that you screwed, basically. It's the irony is amazing. The hypocrisy blows my mind.
What you expected it to be, but it is what it is, and you gotta deal with it. This was not a feel-good video. I didn't really want to do this one. I saw the topic come up on a Facebook page that I frequent, and during our live Facebook live feed, somebody asked about how to get an absent father involved, and I thought it was an important thing to address.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mention this stuff. How do you get an absent father involved? In their case, they have to sue you. They have to fine you legally. Like that to me, it should have been deleted. I don't know why he didn't delete that video. That's crazy that he left that up. That's insane. Step up, eh? It bothers me as a dad who, especially adopted dad and a dad who loves his kids like fiercely, would never ever abandon my children ever. That bothers me a lot. And so that brings me to this next little piece here. Right off the end of that, there's this video that's out there called Child Services Visits Again, okay? And I need to bring this in because it's talking about deadbeat dads and all this kind of stuff. Step up and all this. I've done this in a past video too, where they sat in the pool and told them how amazing they are. They feed the homeless people and they're so incredible. Why would people want to send, CPS after us? But this is just, I want to show this part of this video. I haven't even seen this. So, about how many times CPS Child Services visits them, because people are calling. And they think it's fans who are calling, or, haters. But they don't realize that it could be teachers. Remember when Priscilla dropped... looking in the back seat, moving it around, driving on a highway and saying, "We're coming in hot."
So this is starting off exciting. Abby.
So Abby's got a blanket on her head because she's covered in blood right now.
I looked back there and she pulled the blanket up and she has a bloody nose and it's everywhere. So we're one exit from her school and I'm gonna have to text them when I get to a stoplight and tell them we're coming in hot.
We're coming in hot, meaning she's gonna drop her off full of blood and clean her up. and she drops her kid off with a full bloody face at school because she's got a meeting to go to. Remember that? And then people were getting mad at me because I vlog in my car. Hey guys, the car drives itself. Doesn't matter. I get it. But all that to say is that maybe it could have been a teacher, and they don't know this because the child services will never tell them. But let's go off the idea that they're amazing, and let's get into this next one.
She was a nice lady. That was I feel like she was on the verge of laughing at the allegations. She was like, I watched your videos. I didn't see any of that.
I've told you guys this many times. When you have to project the things so that everybody knows the things, those things they're not there. And they're like, she laughed. She thought this was hilarious. We're amazing parents. When you have to say the thing, you're not the thing. I said this in my last video on Bible stories and swearing. Righteous and good people, you know they are without them telling you. People who have great relationships, lovely marriages, and all these types of things, they don't ever tell you. You just know. It just is a thing. When people have to tell you how amazing they are, they're not. Okay? Let's be real. That's a big thing with family vloggers. They all get on cameras and show how amazing their marriage is, and you got, bits of Brie on the beach with her boob out into the poster, people pointing out all the stuff, like how amazing they are. And these people are living, mostly are broken families. When you have to tell people that you're the thing, you're not the thing. But he's pissed here.
Guys, you. Oh, she's parked right there. I was like, whose car is that? Yeah. DCF. Such a nice lady, though. Just doing her job. I got no hate for DCF at all. They get these false reports.
Not false reports, as far as I'm concerned.
But man, what a waste of resources. You absolute trash cans that report this stuff. Trash cans. Worthless people. Don't even know you. Don't care. That's who you are.
This is another thing that he projects this a lot. When he's upset, he's like, you're nothing to me. I don't know you an excuse. I don't know you. I hate you. So you're nothing. So why do an entire video on it? And you're steaming mad about it. These people need to learn to get off the camera when it comes time to these things because it makes them look worse. You're wasting resources. You listen to the issue here is that DCF's being called more than once. Something's wrong. People are worried. Your daughter jumped into a pool because you didn't lock the door, probably could have drowned and died, right? There's too much going on that people are seeing. DCF doesn't just get called for people who are like abusing the kids physically, who are not feeding them or whatever the case may be. This exploitation that you're doing here is abuse as far as I'm concerned. And as far as thousands of people are concerned. So that's why they're calling. Or the school called because you dropped her off with a giant ass bloody face.
Sure. Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
I'll deal with it.
She commended us for being amazing parents.
Yeah, I doubt that. Love to see those notes. Why don't you record that?
So, there's that. She's got to do her investigation.
See, this bothers me so much because he's coming on to try to justify that they're so amazing. You should have just kept your mouth shut. You didn't have to say a word. If you're scared about these trolls, as you call them, or trash cans, doing this, why are you filming it? You're giving them what they want.
As soon as the
Because it's content.
investigation's over, I already contacted a lawyer. As soon as the investigation's closed, then we can pursue defamation of character. So
it's not defamation of character. When somebody is worried about your child that you're exploiting, it's not defamation against you. They're just worried. They want to check up. Clearly, CPS had reason to come to your house and check up. It's not just I think that they're doing this. They're probably likely showing them videos.
yeah, we're not laying down for this one. We're not just going, we'll just let it go, whatever.
I thought it didn't matter. He didn't care. You're amazing. You get awards.
No, you want to actually come after us? Okay.
That sounds to you like somebody who is like a really good dad, looks above board, forgiveness, grace, understanding. Don't forget, this guy went to seminary, okay? Not sure they're believers, but to me, I know, I would be upset too. Right? Don't get me wrong. I would absolutely be upset if someone's calling CPS on you for no reason. But you live in a world where people see your every move. Your damn fridge has a lock on it, so your kid can't get food out of it. I get it. But at the same time, you have to understand that somebody who's like, well, I'm coming after you legally. Screw you, you trash bag and all this stuff, and calls people. This guy's projecting anger on a camera. Can you imagine how angry he is when the camera's off? Could you imagine what's going on around that house?
Over that crap. I did get to show her our awards for parenting and family.
Yeah, he did this at the one where they were in the pool talking about how they fed homeless people and they have awards for family. We'll get into the awards.
Showed her those. She thought that was funny.
It's amazing.
We go held awards for
Pretty sure Jeffrey Epstein won some awards too.
advocates for autism.
A lot of people win awards doesn't make you good parents. Clearly, by people's vlogs and what I'm pointing out here is that these vlogs are fake. So you're not really. I don't understand how people give a parent an award when you don't really know shit. There should be no such thing as parenting awards. We all know it's bullshit. And the fact that they keep flexing that they have these parental awards, which were likely fan voted to win, pisses me off.
Be careful where you get your information from, because it makes you look foolish.
Oh, where do we get information from, Priscilla? Well, yeah, your vlog. Where else would they get their information from? You're the ones putting it out there. It makes us look foolish. You just made yourself look completely foolish because where are people getting information from you?
Anybody can make a video look bad by editing and stopping and chopping it up.
What was the quote? She vocalized,
Yeah.
The kids never spoke a word that.
I love how this brother gets into it. He's like, oh yeah, the kids never vocalize anything. Yeah, proving my point completely. She can't vocalize anything. They just flexed on the fact that she can't. Right?
They said she vocalized the bill. And I'm, I know this is coming off to a lot of you as like, wait, what's going on? We've been dealing with this for days. Videos were made coming after us. There's a whole group of this tiny little percentage of viewers on YouTube that
It's thousands.
that are on this lady's videos.
Oh, is he talking about? There's some girl out there that does videos on these guys, or a couple of them, and they shredded them, and he gets super upset. He's like, he has to tell how small they are, so he can say, look, they're nothing. And then I started doing videos about it, and now other people can start doing videos about it.
Just tracking us in the comments and sending DCF out here. So they even posted our address, which I'm pretty sure is doxing.
That is doxing. Never post someone's address.
Posted our address in the comments. So, yep, that's how that's gonna go. But yeah, that case will be closed because we are awesome parents. We're awesome parents. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, you can't say that. You're not allowed to say that because you exploit your kid. Maybe you think you're awesome, but the issue is that you're unwilling to even explore the idea that you are exploiting a daughter who can't even speak without her consent and taking away her dignity. You don't even want to explore the option and say, are we doing this? Are we doing this? And just come across saying, again, let me reiterate the phrase. Maybe I need to make a t-shirt. If you have to say the thing, you can't be the thing. Like, I can say I have an amazing mustache. Not true. If I have to say it, it's not true.
You're dead wrong. Oh, the one about punishing her by sweeping was in the. You mean the thing that our ABA therapist came up with? That was a board certified behavior analyst that said this would be.
Well, we'll get into ABA soon, but some people think ABA is wrong. Some people think it's right. It's not a settled argument, but if someone thinks it's wrong, right? And they feel heavily that ABA is wrong. A lot of people think that ABA is torture, or it's punishment-based behavioral therapy, like it's changing behavior based on punishment or actions. I don't know enough about it. I'm trying to get professionals on to talk to me about it and you about it so we can be more educated, because that's important. Maybe ABA is right, but I guess we just have to prevent both sides of the argument and then come up with our own conclusions.
Good idea to punish certain behaviors with.
Yeah.
That one from over a year ago.
Such a terrible connotation to it. Like, we're punishing her. Like, she's sweeping because she made a mess.
There are circumstances for choices that are made. That's how life is. Oh.
Yeah, but that's how life is for a neurotypical person, right? It's not lost on me that when you have a special needs child, special dispensation needs to be made for who they are, right? If you have a special needs child, they're not going to be doing the things a neurotypical child will be doing. So I feel like they're almost trying to force this normal behavior on her to try to fix it. I don't know. But to me, it can't be lost on a lot of other people either that Abby is not a neurotypical girl. She has IDD and she has autism. So she just, I don't know how to express that properly, so I don't want to say it, but it feels like to me like if she has special needs, then she probably has special wants and special desires and